What do you think is the scariest thing in the ocean? Jaws? Or maybe a legendary giant squid? Let me tell you, those don't even count as the appetizer. Today, we're talking about the real titans. In a place where pressure crushes sunlight, mythical monsters look like harmless goldfish next to them. So, you ready? We're throwing these 6 nightmares into a brutal showdown to see who's the true king of the deep. From the Antarctic humanoid to the Hydra of myth, to the ultimate mystery you only hear but never see. Number 6. The Ningen, a gentle giant. Size: about 2 or 3 buses parked end to end, 20-30 meters. Alright, let's start with the rookie on our list. In the icy waters of Antarctica, some claim to have seen it. A massive, humanoid creature. It has no fangs or claws. It fights with pure, raw power. Imagine its giant arms swinging at you. It's like, how insane is its weapon? Put it this way, ever seen a runaway crane on a construction site? Now, multiply that strength a few times. That's a Ningen slap. Flattening a research vessel? Piece of cake. It's like a giant toddler with god-tier strength. Number 5. The Sea Eater, the walking grinder. Size: roughly the size of a blue whale, 45 meters. Okay, so we've seen brute force, but what if a monster put all its skill points into eating? That's the Sea Eater for you. Its tactic is brutally simple. Open mouth, game over. How insane is its weapon? Its open mouth could easily swallow a whole train car. Every tooth is like an industrial-grade alloy blade for cutting steel. Getting bitten isn't just an injury. You're erased from existence. Like a submarine getting snipped in half by giant hydraulic shears. Clean, efficient, and brutally final. Number 4. El Grand Maja, the Mobile Armored Fortress. Size: longer than a basketball court, over 50 meters. A giant mouth is scary, but what if your opponent is basically invincible? Meet Maja, the giant sea serpent from Cuban legend. This thing is basically a cheat code. It's not just strong. Its defense stats are completely maxed out. How insane is its weapon? It has 2 ways to kill you. 1. Crush you to death. Its coils have the force of several industrial presses at once. It can twist a warship into a pretzel. 2. If crushing is too slow, it uses its 2 massive horns to ram you like a high-speed train with drill bits on the front. Offense and defense in one. A perfect war machine. Number 3. The Hydra, the boss that makes you rage quit. Body isn't huge, but its heads are too many to count. Okay, an armored fortress is tough. But how do you fight something you literally can't kill? And that gets stronger the more you fight it? The Hydra from Greek myth is the being that makes you question reality. How insane is its weapon? Imagine a heavy tank, but instead of 1 cannon, it has 9. Each one can aim independently and spit corrosive acid. You might dodge one, but you can't dodge the other 8. And its passive ability is just OP. You chop off 1 head after a hell of a fight, and 2 new ones grow back instantly. This isn't a battle, it's a never-ending nightmare. Number 2. The Kraken, the walking natural disaster. Size: a single tentacle can be longer than a Ningen. Its body is the size of a small island. So far, we've been talking about creatures, but this next one, creature doesn't even begin to cover it. The legendary Kraken. When it shows up, you're no longer fighting an enemy. You're fighting the ocean's wrath. How insane is its weapon? Its tentacles aren't weapons. They're invitations from the Grim Reaper. Each one is like a giant crane arm that rips steel off a ship's hull. But its most terrifying feature is that it changes the battlefield. At will, it can create a massive, deadly whirlpool, dragging everything on the surface, including your hope, into the abyss. It's not fighting a battle. It is the catastrophe. The king is about to be crowned. All right, from number 6 to number 2, we've seen some insane power. But before I reveal the champion, I want to ask you guys, who do you think is the strongest? Drop your answer in the comments. Let's see how many of you can guess it right. Okay, let's continue. They're all terrifying, right? But they have one thing in common. Their attacks are something you can at least see. But the one in the top spot, its terror is that it doesn't even need to show up. It can turn you to dust from miles away, in a way you can't comprehend, a way you can't possibly defend against. Number 1, the roar from the abyss, estimated to be longer than a Boeing 747, over 76 meters. And now, the champion. But the bloop isn't a myth, it's a code name for a real, impossibly loud sound from an unknown source, recorded by scientists in the deep Pacific in 1997. Its acoustic signature was biological, was far beyond anything any known animal on Earth could produce. How insane is its weapon? Its weapon is its voice. Imagine a creature whose every low-frequency roar that can shatter a submarine's hull from the inside. It doesn't need to touch you to turn your insides to mush. Its roar is an invisible, multi-kilometer-wide shockwave. This isn't a physical attack. It's a reality-breaking beatdown. In the face of the bloop, the Kraken's tentacles and Hydra's fangs seem primitive and almost laughable, because while they're still on their way to the fight, the bloop just has to clear its throat, and the battle is already over. From giant humanoids to a devastating sound wave, the deep sea's mysteries are far beyond our imagination. Perhaps the titans on this list today are just the tip of the iceberg. If you love exploring stories of the unknown like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next adventure.